Nashville Predators forward Ryan Hartman has been suspended for one playoff game for his hit against Avalanche forward Colorado Soderberg. We're going to discuss the hit and the suspension coming up next. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video here at Top Shelf Hockey. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. We'll review and discuss all 31 NHL teams. So if you're a huge hockey fan, consider subscribing and clicking the bell so you don't miss anything. So as I mentioned off the top, Predators forward Ryan Hartman has been suspended by the NHL for one playoff game for his illegal check to the head against Colorado Avalanche forward Colorado Soderberg. Now, if you did not see the play that we're talking about, there is a link down below in the description from NHL Player Safety Department which shows the footage of the hit and explains why they decided to go ahead and suspend Hartman for one playoff game. So basically with this play, you can clearly see that the first point of contact here is Hartman making contact with Soderberg's head, which is obviously a dangerous hit. There was probably an opportunity for him to let up a little bit or to maybe steer himself just slightly so we could possibly try to avoid this. Now I understand the game goes at very high speed, but at the same time, this is something that probably could have been avoided, and you could clearly tell that the focal point of contact here was Soderberg's head, which is the reason for the suspension. Now, Ryan Hartman does not have a suspension history during his time in NHL. He did receive one fine previously, but that's all during his career so far. So the NHL Player Safety Department has determined they feel that one game is sufficient for the punishment for this hit. Now, based on what else we've seen so far here in the playoffs, I guess it kind of lines up. It's somewhat comparable to the Drew Doughty situation. If you compare the severity of this hit to some of the other hits we've seen in the playoffs so far and compare it to other suspensions, I guess one game does seem to be fair. During the playoffs, players are not paid their salaries. They're paid their full salaries during the regular seasons. So because of that, Hartman will not be forfeiting any income earned here for this one game suspension. So he will miss Game 5 against the Colorado Avalanche. Right now, the Predators have a commanding 3-1 series lead. Game 5 goes this evening, and the Avalanche are going down to their third-string goaltender, Andrew Hammond, the Hamburglar himself, is making his return to the crease for a playoff game here with the Avalanche. Obviously, Varlamov and now Bernier are both out, so Hammond is going to take over, and they're certainly got their backs up against the wall against the powerful Predators. I would suspect, as much as Hartman's a pretty good player, that the Predators won't really miss a beat here. They're a very deep team with all kinds of forwards that can play the position, so they should be just fine. It's only the one game they'll be without Hartman anyhow, and I fully suspect that they stand an excellent chance of wrapping up that series tonight. I guess they go Game 5 and look for a 4-1 series win. So leave some comments down below. What do you think of the Hartman suspension? I think most people would agree, based on what else we've seen in the playoffs, that one game is a fair call here, I think, by the NHL. There seems to be inconsistency at times. I've seen some other hits that certainly look to be potential suspension worthy and were not. And then some other ones that were kind of borderline. So it's kind of hard to tell nowadays, but this one I have no problem with. I think one game is fair. The head, like I said, was the main point of contact, and that's something that they're trying to eliminate. If you're new to the channel, I hope you consider subscribing. We cover all 31 NHL teams, and we have a big 1,000 subscriber giveaway coming up here very soon as the milestone's achieved. So if you're new, I hope you'll consider subscribing and taking part in that. If you haven't done so already, consider following us on Twitter. You're going to find our Twitter handle on the screen right here. We're very active on Twitter. We enjoy discussing all things hockey with all of our subscribers and viewers that are on Twitter. So check that out. It's down below in the description. As always, thank you very much for watching, everybody. We'll catch you next time.